Live like a king in the Philippines. This comes up so often, but it originally started probably late 90s when somebody brought the term up, I suppose. There was some older guys that were out there. You know, you're talking about guys that are like late 60s, early 70s, and they're talking about living like a king, which is basically living in a house, 4-bedroom house with a maid, driver, etc. And they call that living like a king. Myself, it's the normal standard of living in Asia. In Hong Kong, we had a servant. In the Philippines, we had a driver, we had a maid, we had nannies, etc. In the Middle East, I have a driver, etc. So it's not a case of living like a king. It's culturally normal in many countries. So that's the first thing I want to say. The other thing you've got to understand is a lot of the time it's about the relationship itself, in the sense that a lot of people go to the Philippines to meet a attractive woman and then have other justifications of why they were there. But in reality, let's face it, 99% of the guys, it's about the women, and then everything else drops into place. Because let's face it, burning rubbish and all the other problems that go with the Philippines does not put it on a tourist map. In fact, I couldn't even get a holiday there from any of the tour operators in the UK at the time. Probably still can't now, because it's on the kidnapping list and everything else with the embassy. So you can't walk into Thomas Cook's and say, could you book me a 5-star hotel to the Philippines? They'll go, no, because it's an insurance liability nightmare for us. So the answer to that is no. So the point being is that living like a king is basically a normal standard of living in many countries in Asia, predominantly Asia. When I say Asia, that expands into India, etc., because it's quite normal to have staff, you know, within the house. I know a friend of mine, I think in their house, because it's a family house in India, they've got 34 or 36 staff. It's quite because there's not just one family that live there, because his brother lives there with his family, his sister lives there with their family. You know, there's about 10 families in there, but there's nearly 40 staff that just accommodate everybody else. I would say that's more like living like a king, but at the same time, the cost of that is probably not far off what it would cost in the Philippines either. But the thing in the Philippines, what you have got is an environment where people are friendly and easy to engage with, for the better part. A lot of women are accessible, which is the reality for a lot of guys, and they're approachable. You know, at the end of the day, most women are approachable. Even if they're married, you can go up and chat with them. They may tell you where to go because they're married, but at the same time, they're not going to give you that brush off you may get in the West for simply just trying to engage with somebody, when all you actually wanted to know was where's the coffee in the aisle or whatever. But ultimately, it's not living like a king. It's living at a sustainable lifestyle, which can be quite comfortable. At the same time, a lot of stuff is missing, like Western food. A lot of Western food is still not there yet, and it can be quite expensive. And not of the same quality a lot of time. For example, a lot of wine tastes like vinegar because it hasn't traveled well. So from that point of view, do you live like a king? The answer I would actually say is no. Can you have a good quality of life? The answer is yes. Would I recommend living in a city? It depends on your lifestyle. A lot of guys do quite well living in condos because they've got security there. They live near the malls. Everything's accessible. And that's quite a good lifestyle if you like city living. The other option of that is living out in the provinces a bit more, because if you sit in between the two, you can sometimes find that you get the garbage and other problems that occur because of the location. But if you can live like in a air environment where they actually have some fresh air, it can be quite good. You find that you can buy rent a decent piece of land, or marry somebody with a decent piece of land, and you can have a lifestyle that's pretty cool. The reason I like the Philippines is it's a lot more relaxed. You know, I like riding my motorbike. I like driving around and just experiencing new things, and I like that a lot of it is disruptive and a little bit unfinished and unpolished. I like that. I mean, here in Spain, where I am right now, it's very, very fake. I mean, you look at that. It just looks like a Western town, and many places do. Western town in the sense of cardboard cities, you know, where they stick the, you know, the frontage up, and then there's just the timber holding the back up. A lot of the stuff on the coast looks like that because there's nothing there. There's thousands of houses and not a shop between them or a job. So from that sort of sense, the Philippines has a lot to offer. Where this beats it hands down is its cleanliness. It's a lot cleaner here. We have waste collection daily. We have good internet, but we still have a lot of corruption. We still have a lot of problems with the phone lines. We still have a lot of problems that you get with the Philippines because they inherit a lot of them from Spain. But ultimately, what you've got to understand is that what you're looking at is an environment that is just going to offer you a good standard of living. But do your homework, because it's certainly not living like a king. Thanks for watching.